Yes, yes, yes. I am live from Amsterdam, and this song is the one we love so much. And I have great reason to be very excited today because of what you see here on my side. Bitcoin broke $100,000 again. Yay! Yay! It's so awesome. If you love that as much as I do, please let me know in the comments. It's always good to know that we have crypto enthusiastic people that watch the channel. We're going to talk about that right now. Are you crypto enthusiastic? Are you? Because not everybody is. Not everybody is. My hairdresser today was for sure. I went in, I got a haircut. Actually, I can finally take my hat off. I was always worried I'd be a little bit too pillow headed. But I got a haircut, and the hairstylist saw my Bitcoin here and he said, "Do you own Bitcoin?" I said, "Yes, of course." And he pulled up his phone, and he was one of those people who already had lots of crypto, lots of it, but he was complaining. He said, here in Europe, since I'm currently in Amsterdam, I cannot buy all the crypto I want. Certain coins are restricted. And I told him, you know what? I feel you. There's also restrictions we have in the United States. Each country has its restrictions, but you can actually access decentralized finance where you have self custody over your crypto. And then nobody can tell you what to do or what not to do with your crypto. But the problem is that most people actually don't know how to even get into crypto, let alone decentralized finance. And that is why I have a boot camp where I show people exactly how to do that. And we just had a cohort finished, and all of those people are now Crypto Alliance members. If you want to know how you could possibly become a member and also how you can learn and start your journey in crypto, what I need you to do is go to crypto.lifestyle. It's a landing page. Whoop. You go there, and then you are part of the tribe very, very soon. But today, uh, we'll talk about what you see here on my right hand side is, of course, Bitcoin finally breaking $100,000 as we speak. The price of Bitcoin is actually $101,371. Absolutely epic. I love it. We're going to talk about, will that price stay there? Will it go higher? Will it go lower? For how long? And all of that. That's, of course, very important to know. You know what? I need to share this with you because I'm a little bit disappointed what happened to me over the past 2 or 3 days. Most of you actually watch this stream from the platform of your choice, and a lot of people actually watch the stream from LinkedIn. And this stream no longer exists on LinkedIn. Why, you are asking? Because LinkedIn has started flagging the crypto content as problematic. And it just makes me understand that this whole crypto movement is one that frees people, that gives them agency, and that is trying to break the status quo. And certain platforms are just not in alignment with that. Now, I have to say, I have a lot of gratitude in my heart for platforms that truly support free speech, such as X, such as also lately Facebook, with Mark Zuckerberg coming out and saying, hey, we need to give people a voice. And then, of course, YouTube and Rumble. And then also, let's not forget that we still have our websites and our email lists. All of these platforms are very important to maintain freedom of speech. So moving forward, you will, of course, see me on all those platforms except for LinkedIn. And too bad for LinkedIn, because they are missing out on preparing their members for what is the financial backbone of the future. There's absolutely no doubt about it. If you agree with that, please give me a like, please subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone. People are in need of good information about crypto. And there's lots of people out there who don't walk their talk and who give information that is maybe not the best. And that is precisely why a platform like LinkedIn decided to be ultra conservative with that type of content. But they will regret it, because I am delivering exactly that, because I live the crypto lifestyle. Everything that I am doing has to do with living crypto, earning crypto, trading crypto, teaching crypto. And it truly, I had a talk with my partner in business and life, Andrea. She's also a co-leader of the Crypto Alliance, but is a little bit more behind the curtains, although you will hear from her very, very soon, because she's the master of teaching us how to regulate our emotions. And that is very important in moments where our crypto portfolio goes down. And also when it goes up, quite interestingly, like right now, where a lot of people experience FOMO, the fear of missing out. And in such moments, you just have to really know, why are you doing this, and what is my plan, and stick to the plan, right? So this is all very important. And if you are into that kind of approach of wealth and financial well-being, you have to follow us. You have to become a member of the crypto lifestyle, which again you can do here by going to the landing page crypto.lifestyle. All right, let's look at this chart again, because there's a lot to learn here. There's a lot to learn here. Essentially, can I make this a little bit bigger? Yeah, okay. So what we have here is actually a high time frame view of Bitcoin. This platform is called TradingView, and we traders and crypto enthusiasts use it to navigate and follow the prices of the crypto we want to trade or we want to invest in. So here you actually see the asset Bitcoin, and then here you see the time frame over which we have the price charted on this graph. So you can see right now I have selected the weekly time frame, and that lets you know that here on the x-axis you see that each candle represents an entire week. So this is an entire week, a green candle, this is an entire week. You get the idea. Now, as we scroll out a little bit, I want you to look at the several years here that Bitcoin has been charted on this specific view. And you will see that we've had two phases here where we see this uptrend, this increase in the value of Bitcoin. This was the bull run of 2021. And here we are currently in the bull run of 2024, 2025. And the question now is when do we reach the top of the bull run? Here, right? This was the top of the bull run in 2022. And so the question is, when do we top out this bull run? Now, nobody knows for sure because nobody can predict the future. But one thing is for sure is that it will very likely happen in still this year, of course. And a lot of experts agree that it would top out anywhere in between July and November. So we'll have to see. What is, of course, very interesting now is that when we were here in this area, so here, we asked ourselves, is this a left translated cycle? Meaning, is it over? Are we going to go down from here to have a correction, potentially as low as $50,000,
which would be the bear phase of the market cycles, to only then go up, right? That was actually quite a possibility just a few days ago. However, because we have now broken this downtrend, okay, so here was a downtrend and we have broken that, and we have breached a very key level here that was really hard to breach. We actually thought it would take a lot longer to get through this 99,500 dollar barrier, and we just pierced through it. Okay, we just pierced through it, so which is a very good sign. And for those of you who are interested in a short-term investment, uh, you should actually wait and see if we can, in the coming 2 or 3 days, maintain over this 99,500 level. Because if that is the case, then the probability is very high that we will go to the all-time highs of Bitcoin to finish out this bull run. Now, how high that is, nobody knows for sure, because it could be anywhere between 115 even to $150,000. We don't know for sure, but what I can tell you is that the stars are aligning for Bitcoin and for crypto in general with very bullish news. Today, the pump, I believe, was fueled by President Trump announcing a deal on tariffs with the UK. But also, we have more and more countries and states within the US announcing that they actually are ready to start the Bitcoin reserves. And some states, I heard about Missouri potentially, this is not verified information, but I wouldn't be surprised, Missouri having no tax on Bitcoin, which I personally believe any country and any state that is seriously interested in gathering crypto intelligence in their region needs to go that way. No tax on Bitcoin, no tax on crypto. We can tax people enough in other ways, right? So just like the state of Texas doesn't have state income tax, it takes its tax from actually property tax. That's how they get their income. So the question that you have right now most likely is, should you get into Bitcoin now or not? And the answer, as always, is it depends. It really depends on how long your investment horizon is. Do you see Bitcoin, like I do, by the way, that it will be the financial backbone of the future? It will inevitably reach 500, $1 million dollars in valuation per coin. Then you have a long investment horizon, and you can absolutely get into Bitcoin now and also stay in it while there is a correction, which will inevitably come as well, because after any bull market, there will also be a bear market. And most Bitcoin experts agree that Bitcoin could contract down until $50,000, which is normal, right? Is no cause for panic. So if you have that long investment horizon, yes, you probably are best off to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. If you are a short-term swing trader who says, well, I believe Bitcoin still has some leeway, some way to go, and you want to catch specifically this movement here, where you say, I kind of want to buy in here and then listen to Shankar to see when is the potential top of the bull run, and then sell. That is also an opportunity. Or maybe you are like me and you're very interested also in day trading. You catch very tiny moves multiple times throughout the day. That is also a possibility. But the great news for day traders is they don't really care whether we are in a bull market or a bear market. They don't really care, because they catch such small movements, intraday movements, that happen every single day, multiple times, no matter what market we are in, which is, of course, very powerful, because you can make a living every single day. And then there's also folks who understand, hey, while this trading activity happens here on the way up or on the way down, I can actually be like a bank and collect fees on other people trading. And that is something that I also teach. It's called liquidity provisioning. And all of that is accessible to you if you join my tribe here, crypto.lifestyle. Join the Crypto Alliance. There's actually behind this link, you get access to a free masterclass that within about 90 minutes shows you how I do liquidity provisions as well. So definitely check into that if that is appealing to you. So yeah, the question, we're in a very good situation, I believe. There's reason to be bullish. And again, if we are able to close a few candles here above this 99,500 level, I would not be surprised if we got to all-time highs. That is for Bitcoin. By the way, if you don't know, one way to kind of gauge when we have reached the top of this Bitcoin move, there's two charts you want to look at. One is called the USDT dominance. So I have that one here. And the USDT dominance is essentially showing you what is the percentage of stable coins compared to the entire market. And it operates in an inverse fashion to Bitcoin. So, in other words, when the USDT dominance goes up, Bitcoin goes down. But when it breaks down, Bitcoin goes up, right? So you see that for a while we've been going upwards, but we have taken a turn. And now the question is, how far can dominance go? And quite frankly, you see, there's one resist or support in this case here. There's one support level here. So we will likely go until there and then bounce off of it. But then what we really want to see for the final push of the bull run is go down to even hit this very low support line here. That would be really good. Meaning people are not in stable coins, people are in Bitcoin. So that is a chart to always keep an eye on, the USDT dominance. The other one that you want to look at is called the Bitcoin dominance. So same idea. What is the ratio of Bitcoin compared to the entire crypto market? Now, as you can see, the Bitcoin dominance is currently not unstoppable, right? So in order to have an idea of how far can this Bitcoin dominance actually go, we need to look at the past. And you can see that it has topped out here around the 72.88 percentage line. So that means if we reach the same heights again, then Bitcoin dominance still has a lot of breathing room to the upside until it will potentially reverse. By the way, all of you who are waiting for the so-called alternative season, the altcoin season, the Bitcoin dominance is a chart that matters a lot to you because as Bitcoin dominance goes down, guess what happens? The so-called rotation, where a lot of people say, okay, I think Bitcoin has given all it can. Now I want to get a little bit more gains, and I'm going to find those in alternative coins, such as Ethereum, such as BNB, such as Solana, Sui, right? Ethereum, by the way, is worth talking about today because Ethereum has grown today in the last 24 hours 12%. We watched a show yesterday or 2 days ago where a very senior expert said, you know, Ethereum is a little bit the hated asset right now, and it can really surprise us. And if you look at this, it truly can. It truly can. This is the weekly view, Ethereum against the US dollar. And I mean, this could happen. This could happen where we found bottom, and now we actually have break of structure here. And if we get lucky, we can get a push to the upside, a very explosive push. This is the Ethereum view against USDT. And if you compare USDT, Ethereum against Bitcoin, the chart looks even more bullish, right? Because we were in that parabolic downtrend here. This is a parabolic downtrend. Bitcoin against Ethereum against Bitcoin, absolutely no chance. But now we have this swing here that is potentially happen. It's definitely not confirmed yet. It's still early. We would first have to kind of see some kind of break of structure, which would happen here. Okay, so we want to see it go here and then retest and then go up. But it's definitely possible this can happen now, and this is golden for you who want to trade this, but also golden for you who are looking to invest into something other than Bitcoin. If you don't know, if you're not like super into crypto, definitely stick with Bitcoin because it is the safest play. But if you know your way around a little bit and you want something that could really outperform Bitcoin, or at least be a good second alternative to your crypto portfolio, please look at ETH, because you see here this downtrend has subsisted from the mid 200 middle of 2021 to now down. And look, we can still go lower. If you look at this here and you look at these levels, this is lower, right? I don't think we would go as low as here. That would probably mean that Ethereum is game over, which I don't believe that will happen. So yes, we could still go a little bit lower, but even if we did, not too much of a big deal if we see that as a long-term investment opportunity. So for now, I think it's very important to get into a different mindset. We've been, as traders, we look so often at those charts, and those charts influence our how should I say, they influence a little bit our behavior patterns, right? So obviously we've been in this bear phase here for a while now, and what we now need to consider again is that the next and final part of the bull run is a bullish phase, and things happen a little bit different here. Now, what is very important in the bull phase is to don't FOMO in. FOMO standing for fear of missing out. What you want to do now is wait for, especially if you day trade, is you want to wait for a correction. So you take your Fibonacci retracement tool and you draw it from the bottom to the high of the last explosive move. And then you say, okay, at some point, there has to be some form of correction, and it could go as low as 382, but it could also go into what we call the golden pocket, which is between 0.5 and 618 Fibonacci. This is known as the golden pocket, so it could also go as low as that. So you want to observe the chart, wait for this correction, and then buy in here to continue with the next move up. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Now, of course, I have shown you this on the weekly time frame. That is somewhat makes no sense because it's too high of a time frame. So we want to go on the daily time frame and specifically look at this last explosive move. It will hit resistance at some point, very likely here around 102,400-ish. Why? Because as we look to the past, you see this wick here, very often these wicks in the past, they guide us for what is resistance in those moves. But really, the Fibonacci retracement tool would be applied to this up move here. And let's just assume it would find resistance at the level I mentioned earlier. Then we would be looking for a correction, something like this, maybe, right? Golden pocket and continuation. It is possible also that we will get a shorter correction because we have such an explosive bullish momentum now. Definitely possible that we would only touch the 382 Fibonacci and then continue. But that is the job of you traders and investors, to look at the chart and to analyze the price action. Not only the price action, also things such as volume. So here we see the volume candles, and then of course here on this trading view chart you have a bunch of indicators that can get very overwhelming very quickly. So you need to learn all of that. You need to learn how to find what is known as factors of confluence. So you don't only use one indicator to make your decision, you use a number of indicators. Typically, you want to have at least 3 to 4 indicators coming together that give you, again, a situation where you have confluence, and then you make your decision, right? So that is basically what we have to look at here with our trading charts. Again, what I care about most is that I get as many people as possible exposed to the idea that crypto is way more important than you can possibly imagine right now, because it is going to be the backbone of financial institutions, the backbone of fintech, but also the backbone of how AI and anything we do in the future works as it relates to databases, because databases rely on the blockchain. So at least the databases of the future. Okay, so I think let's see if we have any questions or comments. Please put them in the chat. Depending on where you're watching this, it won't feed into my streaming software here, but I will for sure look at it after the stream. So definitely put your questions and comments into the chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, as a reminder that I'm no longer welcome to talk about this kind of things on LinkedIn. So get into the habit. I see I have 4 people here with me on the other platforms. Get into the habit of watching me here. And most importantly, very importantly, go and to right now, actually, I want you to do that right now. You go to crypto.lifestyle, you type that in the browser like so, and then you see I have a landing page where I tell you this is how I make 11% without trading daily by using liquidity provisions, by the way. And I have some testimonials, and then you enter information here. This is a free masterclass that is accessible to you. And all you need to do now is go to crypto.lifestyle. I think I can blend it in a little bit bigger if I'm not mistaken. I had a label here somewhere. Text block. Where is it? No. But yeah, here it is actually there, right? Crypto.lifestyle. Go there. Awesome. Thank you so much for participating in this live stream. Leave your questions and comments, and then you will hear more from me in the future. Try to stream daily, but I didn't do so in the last week. You know why? Because I flew from the United States to Amsterdam and had to adjust to the new time zone, had to also trade a lot at night because I like to trade the Asia session. But yeah, we'll see if we can get that in a slightly different rhythm. And then by the end of the month, by the way, I will be in Las Vegas. If anyone is there and wants to meet up to talk about crypto, I'll be at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. Fantastic. Okay, stay safe and remain very open-minded, because I'm telling you, crypto is going nowhere. It is here to change the world forever, and you have the chance to equip yourself with knowledge now that can set yourself and your loved ones really apart and set them up for a very prosperous future. This is it for now. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.